I now declare myself fasting, and therefore I will not talk to any of you. And we should practice fasting from talk. That's a beautiful sport to practice. Riyada. And I mean by sport, but it's a spiritual sport. Because sports now strengthen your body, and the spiritual sport strengthens your soul. So practice sport. I'm a sports fan. May Allah make us all like that. طيب. يعني not like me. I don't want Allah to make you like me. May Allah make you better. But to make us people who practice spiritual sports. Now. طيب. What does she do now? Okay, so I ate, I drank, I'm comfortable, but now I have to fast. I'll tell them, if I meet someone, I'll tell them I'm fasting. Took Isa alayhi salam, فَأَتَتْ بِهِ قَوْمَهَا تَحْمِلُهُ. Al-Quran mentions. She now came to her tribe, went back to her tribe, carrying the baby, the infant. قالوا, as long as they saw her, the Quran says, قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا. Right away, the minute they saw her with an infant, they said, you have done something very, very ugly, very, very bad. You have done something very grave. How people accuse people immediately without even thinking about anything. Always assuming the worst case scenario. They don't even know. She could have borrowed it from somebody, for example. She could have been babysitting, let's say. She could have been many things. But people, look at people, subhanAllah. They assume the worst of things about people. Those are the people who are sick-minded. Assume negativity. And that's why among the practices of spiritual sports is also a practice when you can take a piece of paper and take a personality that you know, a good friend of yours, and write 10 good things about them. And then try to write 10 bad things about them. Oh, if I tell you write 10 bad things, right away your minds flash. Oh, 10 bad things. Oh, she's always late. She never comes. You know, when she told me she was going to do that, she didn't write. And then the other day, you know, he's not generous. He's you know, I feel he's jealous, right? Huh? But try to write 10 things. So you say, he's nice sometimes. And then you start, 10 things? How can I come up with 10 things? 10 good things about this person? Okay, he's nice. He is sometimes generous. Okay, generous. You know, generous. He prays. Let me make that also as nice. You're trying to find things to fill. But the negative line, I remember 15 years ago when we went. I'm never doing that again with him. I mean, I like him, but I'm not. Now, does that ring a bell? Assume the negative. Why assume the negative? Not just like they have negatives, you also have negatives in you. Just like you see the shortcomings and the deficiencies in other people and the imperfections, people also have eyes and they look at you and they know your deficiencies and imperfections, and you're filled of them because everyone has them. Let's wake up and smell the coffee. I'm not saying drink coffee either. Don't drink coffee, please. Vasoconstrictor leads to hypertension, tachycardia, and irritation and nervousness. And we're already nervous as is as a community. So let's keep us relaxed. Now, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallam. Allah. And the poet says, وَمَنْ تَكُنْ نَفْسُهُ بِغَيْرِ جَمَالٍ لَا يَرَى فِي الْكَوْنِ شَيْئًا جَمِيلًا. Which means, the poet means, whose self is void of beauty doesn't see anything beautiful in the world. Because he doesn't have any beauty. So he looks at it with his own reflection. So therefore when you look at people, try to look at them from a positive. Try to concentrate on the positivities and let go of the negativity, because we are filled with it, and ask Allah forgiveness for you and them. Now. قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا. Right away. يا أخت هارون. Did they stop? No, other one. يا أخت هارون, you are the sister of Harun. ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء. Your father was not a bad man. Now they're talking about her father was a big scholar. وَمَا كَانَتْ أُمُّكِ بَغِيًّا, and your mother was not a low-life kind of lady. And blame after blame. What are you doing? What all these things? Al-Quran says, and all these noises, all these people coming, and people are just gathering all over the place now, and they're seeing this Maryam with this baby. What do I do? Al-Quran says she didn't say anything. فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ, she pointed to him. They're saying your father was not this. She's pointing. They looked at her. You're insulting my intelligence? قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد صبيا. How can we talk to an infant? What is wrong with you? You are not only you did this great thing, this grave crime of yours, now you're even mocking us and insulting our minds and intelligence by telling us you're pointing to this. So what do you want? Talk to him, he talks. Some of the Mufassirin said that the people of the village, and her people, were more upset about them being insulted by her when she pointed to her infant than what she assumed supposedly they caused her, they accused her of doing. Because this is, طيب. Al-Quran said, now when she pointed to him, قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت وأوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة ما دمت حيا وبرا بوالدتي ولم يجعلني جبارا شقيا والسلام علي يوم ولدت ويوم أموت وَيَوْمَ أُبْعَثُ حَيًّا. Al-Quran now reverses the roles. Maryam was talking, but Allah ordered her to point to Isa. That's all you have to do. Don't remember before when she was pregnant and she has the labor and the Quran told her just to move, tap on that tree, don't worry, we'll take care of you. Just do what you're told and you will be taken care of. Don't worry. Al-Quran and Islam wants you to understand this. Do what the Sunnah wants you to do, you will be taken care of. Do what Allah wants you to do, you will be taken care of. Don't try to do it your way. Your way may be wrong, but Allah's way and the Prophet's way is the right way. When you do it that way, you will be taken care of. But when you don't, you're on your own. That's the message we can take from here. I want you to analytically think about these things. We're not going through the seerah just for the beauty of the seerah. Yes, it is beautiful as is, but we want to learn from the seerah. We want to interact with the seerah. Asharat ilayh. She pointed to him, to Isa alayhi salam, they call Jesus. Allah made him speak. Infant. Stood clearly in front of everyone. قال إني عبد الله. I'm answering now for my mother. Hold on. I'm going to answer infant. One first day born. The only thing you can hear, wah wah. But this one has different kind of wah wah. قال إني عبد الله. يعني I am not the son of Allah. Let's fast forward. So sometimes we fast forward, sometimes we go back. It's okay like this, right? I hope you agree. قال إني عبد الله أنا لست ابن الله لا أنا عبد الله إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب, and he gave me the book, الإنجيل, the Bible, the Injil. He gave me that book. آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا, and he made me a prophet. An infant is talking. وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ, and he made me blessed everywhere I go. وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ, and he ordered me to do prayers, salat. How important is salah? Hatta Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, he stands in front of people as an infant saying وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ. ولذلك كان النبي الأعظم صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم الصلاة الصلاة. ها؟ الصلاة الصلاة. الأحاديث في الصلاة. الصلاة عماد الدين. Huh? That's not a hadith, but I'm just saying that's the pillar of the deen. من تركها etc. So many ahadith في الصلاة. Where is the salah? طيب. أوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة, and that I give to charity as long as I live. وبرا بوالدتي. And he asked me to be kind to my mother. He's an infant, he was just born. وبرا بوالدتي. And I'll take you back to the ayah before, or the surah in the beginning about Yahya. يا يحيى خذ الكتاب بقوة وآتيناه الحكم صبيا وحنانا من لدنا وزكاة وكان تقيا وبرا بوالديه. About Yahya in the same surah, Surah Maryam, Allah says barran biwalidayhi, and he should be kind, or he is kind to both his parents, his father and his mother. But Isa alayhi salam, he says wabarran biwalidati, and kind to my mother, not walidayhi, not my parents, my mother. Al-Quran does not wanna, he wants to tell us that here Isa alayhi salam has only a mother, does not have a father. So that was it. She was the mother and she was the father for Isa alayhi salam. وَلَمْ يَجْعَلْنِي جَبَّارًا شَقِيًّا وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيَّ يَوْمَ وُلِدْتُ وَيَوْمَ أَمُوتُ وَيَوْمَ أُبْعَثُ حَيًّا. Of course, this event, and we'll talk some other time inshallah about the continuation of the event with Isa, but we're going back to Maryam because we just want to talk about Maryam. At the end of these things, don't think that her family position, that she's religious, made any excuses. Don't think that her purity and service to the mihrab came into any benefit. No, these people kept accusing her and they planned to do something, of course, great against her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her the tawfiq to leave that place, that land of Qudus and around Qudus, Palestine. She left it and she went to Egypt 12 years. Went to Egypt 12 years. Took her son, went to the land of Egypt, next door, escaping persecution and escaping cursing and escaping torturing of the people. Look at this, a female here you have. And I'm not talking today. I am talking thousands of years ago. Taking the responsibility of raising this child that Allah gave her, chose her from nowhere. Out of nowhere, she, as far as she's concerned, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed for her to carry that. But she accepted the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sacrificed for whatever Allah, endured that persecution and that judgment of people and the cursing of people and the belittling of people. Can you imagine what people told her? Those days, Maryam bint Imran, she goes to Egypt. 12 years, works days and nights. Al-Thalabi says she was working 12 years, taghzil, she's doing the clothing. You know, I don't know what they call that when they have these two little things and they, knitting, ahsan, barakallahu feek, knitting. She knits during the night, and during the day, she picks up the wheat in the fields. The husks, when they're done, ripe, she walks, Al-Thalabi says, in one hand, she's carrying a basket where her son Isa is. The other hand, she's carrying a basket where she picks the wheat in the fields, and she works the whole day like this, and the night also knitting, so she can feed her child in the land of Egypt. Allah. Of course, among the most important things for her, she knew there was something. She was in charge of something. She had to do something. Allah chose her to carry this kind of infant. There's a reason behind that. There's a bigger objective. She worked and she put it, of course, after that she took him as a small child and she put him, hired educators for him, teachers for Isa alayhi salam. Until, of course, Allah permitted her to go back to Jerusalem. So 12 years in Egypt, hard work, and giving and working day and night so she can feed that child and give him an education. I am trying to say something here from Maryam. She's trying to say something. Your responsibility as a parent is not simply to have your child delivered. Your responsibility is to educate that child. A father is not only because it's a biological relationship, it's an educational relationship. It's a sacrifice. If you're not ready, then don't make injustices to them. When you have him, it's not simply that you sent him to the school. Oh yeah, let's go to school and I'm doing my job. Follow up. What are you learning at school, son? What have you learned so far? When they come to you and having lots of money, ask them, where did you get that money from? What are you doing? Is this halal or haram? Follow up on them. Who are your friends? Where do you hang out? What are your habits? Which Land Rover are you riding now? And whose money bought that? Father is, and the mother is not simply education. Maryam is working 12 hard years, alayhi salam. 12 hard years, day and night, knitting and picking up the weeds in the land of Egypt so she can provide an education. She already gave him birth, and she was not in charge of that birth, nor was she in charge of the pregnancy to start with. She was in charge of educating Isa for 30 years. That was her job in the dunya. She submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, worked.